Now, I'm going to cross to our US contributor, Kristin Tate, in just a moment. But first, I want to go back to this White House 20-point peace plan for Gaza. Here's Donald Trump outlining some of the details today.
If accepted by Hamas, this proposal calls for the release of all remaining hostages immediately, but in no case more than 72 hours. So the hostages are coming back.
Now, we've seen plenty of efforts from Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu in the past to end this war. I asked Kristin Tate how this latest plan is being received in the US.
Yeah, it's kind of being received with cautious optimism, I suppose. Trump laid out a 20-point plan to ending the war and establishing kind of a post-war Gaza governance. The plan does not require people to leave Gaza and calls for an immediate end to the war if both sides accept it. Israeli forces would withdraw operations, all the hostages would be released. So on paper, this plan seems pretty good. I will say, and it pains me to say this, that I suspect that seeing lasting peace in this region is probably not what's going to happen in the immediate future. This is a conflict that's been going on for a very long time, but this is a great step in the right direction. Trump clearly wants to get this done, and he has said that he's hearing the other side wants to get something done as well. So we'll see what happens. Hamas is currently reviewing the terms of the deal.
Yeah, this is the problem. You're dealing with Hamas. You're not dealing with the rational actors. Yeah. You're dealing with ideologues, with Islamist extremists. And in many ways, what Trump is offering is what's been offered so many times before in this conflict. The difference here is that he's saying it's not a ceasefire. This would be the end of the war. And as you mentioned, there would be this body formed to oversee Gaza. Let's have a look at what the president says about that.
To ensure the success of this effort, my plan calls for the creation of a new international oversight body, the Board of Peace. Israel and everybody involved asked me to do this, so it would be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump of the United States.
Yeah, so the president says he's effectively been asked to do this, to head up this body. This could be a problem. If it comes to eventuality, if this actually is in place, it's going to be pretty difficult for the president to be sitting on this body. But that's a long way off, I suppose. We've got to see whether or not this sticks. But then you have the US, through the president, effectively taking responsibility for the rehabilitation, the rebuilding and the reestablishment of Gaza.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And look, I think Donald Trump clearly wants Middle East peace to be part of his legacy. He seems to be willing to do lots of different things to try to make that happen. But again, I just want to emphasize that is probably going to be a long shot. Even if Hamas were to agree to this deal or some sort of similar deal, all it takes, Chris, is just 30 radicalized Palestinians to conduct another October 7th style attack against Israeli citizens, and we're right back where we started. This is a cultural problem. And as long as anti-Semitism kind of is festering in this kind of part of the area of the globe as it is today, this is a problem that's probably always going to be there until that cultural problem is fixed. So I'm not sure this is something that can be done with a simple deal in terms of lasting peace. But maybe we can have temporary peace, at least. That would be good. And I think that's kind of what's being pushed for at this point. An end to this war, even if it's just temporary peace, would be better than ongoing conflict in the near term.
Absolutely. We all want peace. We all want innocent civilians in particular to be out of harm's way. But you're dead right. When it comes to Islamist extremism, that's an ideology. That's the problem here. These fanatics who will do anything, including kill themselves and have others killed in order to get rid of Israel. And that's why I think these comments from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are so important. Have a look.
If Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept it and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job by itself. This can be done the easy way, or it can be done the hard way, but it will be done.
Yeah, in many ways, Kristin, this is the most important call because, look, we all want peace and let's hope Hamas comes to its senses and accepts this opportunity. But if they don't, or if they play games, or if they accept the deal and then break a ceasefire, what Benjamin Netanyahu is saying is that they will go and finish off Hamas in Gaza City. And obviously Donald Trump is saying he would support them in doing that because so it seems one way or the other, the end is in sight.
I sure hope so. And you're right. Donald Trump made it very clear that America will fully back Israel in those efforts to put an end to it. It was interesting, though. Trump spoke for about 30 minutes, and he did kind of needle Netanyahu in certain ways. He mentioned a few times the ongoing protests in Israel that were calling for an end to the war. I think Trump is also very aware that here in America, an increasing percentage of Americans are starting to kind of turn on Netanyahu and Israel. That's in part because of the very biased media here in the United States. But Trump is looking to get something done here. And I think he struck a good balance there. But ultimately, yes, he was very supportive of Netanyahu. And we fully back Israel if they need to take whatever actions that need to be taken to put an end to this and hopefully install peace.
Hey, Kristin, let's take it back to US domestic politics. And unfortunately, Kamala Harris has got a book out. That means we're seeing and hearing way too much from her of late. Have a listen to this, the latest comment from the former vice president and, of course, presidential candidate.
At a time such as this, it demands one thing for sure. We must fight fire with fire. So CBC, let's get to work.
Fighting fire with fire, Kristin? I thought they were supposed to be into peace and love, the Democrats.
Yeah, I thought so too. But yes, Kamala Harris's speaking tour has just been incredible. I love it. I am begging the Democrats, please, please, please make her your nominee again in the next election cycle, because this woman is just, she is a word salad machine. Nothing she says is coherent. And it's incredible, Chris, because I look at these polls and Democrats still say they want her to be their nominee again next time. She's still considered the front runner. I mean, I know it's early, but she still polls very well with Democrat voters. They love her. So please, guys, nominate her again. I would love to have J.D. Vance or whoever the Republican nominee is run against Harris again. It would be fabulous.
We are on a unity ticket, Kristin, absolutely. Kamala Harris versus J.D. Vance, bring it on. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, Chris.